Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine. It's about 12:30 p.m. Spring forward, we gained an hour every day. Now every day you have a free hour to do whatever you want to do. From me. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's like hanging in there. A lot of information is rolling out. Things are changing, guys. Hang in there. Let's get defenses to buy time, right? I'm kind of sickly from this stuff, but I'm hanging in there. I just try and laugh at it now, because we're getting close. Because we're getting close, and the best way forward is through. is through. Hit the one in the middle. Um, but I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you're more than surviving. I hope you're thriving. I wanted to read this. The Plume sent me this letter to the editor from the Laconia Daily Sun, and I just wanted to read it real quick. I do have some like kind of updates stuff I kind of want to talk about afterwards, just about what's going on with me. But let's get to the important information. This will be a thing that I'm trying to get better at, so the people that just want the information can just get the information. Um, so and I already hate the title, right? I hate the title because the Pentagon is actually doing this. The Pentagon and DARPA are actually, organizing this all out, and then it's from the intelligence agencies and DoD. They have contractors, and this happens. So, Pentagon working to protect citizens from torture. The same Pentagon that's actually, conducting the experimentation, right? They actually put it in a mainstream article that they're conducting dual use testing with 5G on humans, right? So, but this is how things are working in our clown world, right? They're going to try and put the people forward, the Pentagon and the CIA, who are the brains of this in the United States, and say that they're going to come in and say, because they're doing it, like they have to do that, right? They have to do that to control the narrative. They have to make it the people that are doing it controlling the information about how it comes out. Crazy, but still coming out, right? Still coming out. The narrative is going to be the problem. Like this narratives that are coming out are not going to make any sense. This is the military-industrial complex of every country doing it to their citizens, and then bigger countries giving weapons to smaller countries for exchange, like for data in exchange and stuff like that. And bear with me this morning. I actually did a video before this, but the memory stuff was so bad that I would just forget what I was talking about completely. And I just woken up. Like I had woken up like 15 minutes before, and so I waited a little. Well, actually, I only waited doing that video. So the video was like 30 minutes, and I just scrapped it. And so I'm doing it over. I feel a little bit like after I wake up for a while, I feel a little bit better. Um, it's really bad. I would just stop and they would just like I'd be talking about something really important. It's a good video. I probably should have just put it out because when I go over, like if I do a video over, it's like I'll skip over certain things. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go through that long diatribe I went through. But maybe that's good. Maybe a lot of you guys will like that though. That I skip the long diatribes. So Pentagon working to protect citizens from torture. Nope, no. That's bad, and I understand why they're getting the Pentagon and the CIA to be like, hey, we're heading up the investigation because they're doing it. They're like the brainchild in the United States, so they have to control the information, right? So they have to be the one to investigate it. Still coming out, but there's going to be some problems in there. Like I always say, if this changes and gets better for us and stops, like the program stop and intensity just stop completely. That's my priority. We can try and suss out the narrative later. If this stops, I guess I don't really care. I care, like, because people need to know who did this so they'll know that they're going to do something again, right? These people aren't going to stop experimenting on people. They may move to experimenting with deeper stuff than frequency and resonance, like on a quantum. They may already be doing that, right? Okay, so let's read this letter to the editor. To the Daily Sun, the Laconian Sun recently carried an op-ed piece by Jeff Robbins, former U.S. delegate to the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva. His piece was on campus anti-Semitism. Seeing his piece emboldened me to write a letter on another issue currently being investigated by the UN Council on Human Rights. Niels Melzer, Special Rapporteur on Torture for the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva, learned several years ago that Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, was seriously maltreated by the governments of Ecuador and England while being detained for crimes fabricated as retaliation for reporting on government-sponsored torture around the world. Um, in the course of investigating Assange's maltreatment, Melzer learned that some of it was being accomplished through covert use of microwave weapons. So, and we had been talking about this like the whole time. I was like, he's being mistreated in Belmarsh prison. We did a live stream, and I was like, it has to be remote microwave weapons because nobody's beating him, nobody's not feeding him, but there's signs of torture, right? Niels Melzer had specialists who could tell, right? We need that. Like if like Niels Melzer would get those torture inspectors to check us out. This is not. It doesn't. It looks like mental illness optically from far away for gang stalkers, for people that are looking at your life maybe from far away. But you get some people that know about post-traumatic stress disorder, trauma-based mind control, things like that. They're going to see what's happening to us. Awesome. It's awesome. And there are a lot of people in the world like that who specialize. And we're going to be able to be checked out by those people. I don't know when, but guys, hang in there. Things are happening. And I know the New World Order is like taking over and everything's getting so crazy, but if this is a huge thing, and if people know about, the torture of so many people, more people can wake up, and we can fight other things that the New World Order is doing. Right? Such a big thing, such a huge thing to just generalize, and be like, we're going to fight the New World Order, but when people know about this, better decisions will be able to be made by people who want to do the right thing in society, or want to form another country. Say you want to form another country on some island with little drinks with umbrellas. Yeah, just to have a bunch of friends there. Their TIs, maybe just create like a huge electrostatic bubble around the island. Maybe an idea. Maybe like Fantasy Island, but it's going to be like Vulcan Wolverines Island for targeted individuals. Maybe we'll be able to do that someday. Maybe we won't have to. Maybe this stuff will come out and people will start knowing about it. We won't have to make it a big. Like I just think about something like in the center of the island, because this is how it happens in movies and video games, which you know. But like something in the center of the island that creates the field around the island like that, and so the center thing would be protected from any kind of directed energy hitting it. And total fantasy there. Uh, we might not have to do this. This stuff is like coming out, and like I don't know how it's gonna play out, but I'm even kind of saying the word like it might be kind of interesting, even though I'm being, well, especially because I'm being tortured by this stuff. It's like you know, like what I always do, that maybe some of you guys are like, oh, Kyle's putting his fists together again. But we're going to see so much of this. We're going to see so much of it because so many things are compartmentalized. The compartmentalization is going to break down, right? It's going to break down. When this is known, how many people are being tortured by this stuff, the compartmentalization is just going to all flood in, and people are going to know more about the entire situation. The narrative they'll still try and control the narrative, but I think smarter people in society will understand. They'll understand that this couldn't have been done by just um, any kind of organization without a lot of resources. We're talking like billions, trillions of dollars, black projects. This is the Frankenstein military industrial complexes of the world doing this to their citizens. Um, in a simplified way. It's like in a journal. Okay, so where was I? So I want to read it again though. In the course of investigating Assange's maltreatment, Melzer learned that some of it was being accomplished through the covert use of microwave weapons. Further investigation led Melzer to conclude that these weapons are being used on private citizens by many countries around the world. Mm-hmm. So I had said that like because common sense, right? Like, he wasn't being starved to death. He wasn't being beaten like by the guards or anything like that. And I was like, and I had heard that from somebody else. I think somebody, one of the organizations, one of the TI human rights groups, that that's why Niels Melzer was looking into this, and that's why I was saying it on my videos, and here it is, in a letter to the editor. What I would like, if somebody can send this to me, is if somebody can send like an article, like a True Blue article that says like Niels Melzer found out about microwave weapons. And the unit is investigating this because they saw signs of remote microwave abuse. Right? These guys, these inspectors, these torture inspectors, are saving grace. This is because they know they're gonna know they're gonna know they're gonna be able to tell mental illness from somebody being hit by microwave weapons all the time, and they're not going to be trying to lie about it, right? They're not going to be trying to get out of it like our neurologists and psychiatrists and stuff who like their job depends on them saying you're crazy, right, and trying to put you in a mental institution. These people are going to be like, we're looking for the freaking truth. We're looking for like somebody if they're tortured, right? That's great, dude. Guys, hang in there. We got to find better things to buy time. That's why I've been telling y'all to buy time. Things are changing. The torture has not stopped, right? My torture is getting worse. They're really afraid of me. Um, like they just are. Because the way they're torturing me and just brain hobbling me, they want me to stop. Putting information out, which I don't understand, because the information is it's public. Like all this stuff is coming out. The public can read about it. I'm just putting it up on there. So, it must be just some kind of psyop. They're just tired of doing it and just want to hurt me more. They really, I'll tell you what you can do to make your attackers mad. You can go help your grandma. You can help your family. You can put out good information to help people. You can pass along good information to help other targeted individuals. You can, have victories in this and stay upbeat and get connected to God and say, this is just the time I live in. This is just what's happened to me, but I'm going to find victory in this. I'm going to dig, 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 and I'm going to make something out of this, right? That's why I love my boy Kevin Christian. I haven't watched how he's doing lately. I love that guy's attitude. We have a lot of disagreements on like what's actually going on. Um, that's the attitude you got to have. I hope he's doing okay. A lot of other target individuals have this attitude, but I always just like Kevin Christian stands out for me because I disagree with him so much about like what's going on, and I'm like, man, he's talking about like, but his attitude's great. Like his attitude's great so much that I'm like, it doesn't really matter that we disagree on like exactly what they're doing and stuff like that. So that when people get to, and this, none of this is a slight against Kevin. It's actually like a very like saying he's awesome, but it's like when we're targeted, things get so tailor made to us, and the psyops get so tailor made that it's like when we have disagreements on what's going on, it's not even really a big deal because like we're all kind of experiencing different things in a certain way, right? Very similar things, but some things are very tailor made. So like I may talk about my remote neural manipulation to you guys, and some of you are like, oh yeah, they do that to me. And some of you are like, well, they don't do that sort of thing to me. I don't know. Yeah, I hope I'm explaining that. Well, bear with me, guys. I'm trying to kind of pull myself together. I'm gonna be putting out more information and things like that. Um, but I have been. It's a lot of heavy stuff. You know, it's like a lot of the heaviest stuff in my life going on right now, and the targeting being really way more than rough. It's hard to talk about it in a way that that gives it justice. Because like I have to, when you're living it, you have to be like, okay, well, I just got hit and I gotta keep moving on. But then to explain the seriousness of it, that's a hard balance. That's a very hard balance. It's very serious. This is very, very serious. It damages the brain. It's brain experimentation. MK Ultra from far. It must be stopped. It's the most evil thing it's ever been. Such a misuse of technology and a misuse of humanity. And these things, like if they can do this, so like even before they started kind of really, really just crashing down with Agenda 2030 and everything like that and the pandemic, then the people need to know what they're capable of and what they think about us. They think that we're I wouldn't even say guinea pigs. I'd say they look at the people at the top of the pyramid look at society and they say this is like a petri dish that we're just gonna screw around with and just see what happens, and then we can kill it if our experiments and transhumanism will just kind of do whatever, right? And that's a very dangerous thing because I feel like, I know there's a spark inside of us, a soul connected to God. It's like they want to get rid of that spark. I was thinking about that the other day. We're definitely going to watch Stephen Schoen's movie. We're definitely going to watch that on movie night. Not the next one, but we're going to watch that. And The Spark is a great name for that movie. I'm not sure where you can get it. I think he has a website where you can get it, but it's a great name for the movie because like that's really in all these things what they're trying to take away from humanity. That spark and that spark that connects you to God. You know. Okay, so I kind of got off track. There's a group in California called People Against Covert Torture and Surveillance. Their mission is to help victims of microwave torture, educate the public about it, and try to get it stopped. Melzer put out a call for victims around the world to submit statements. Excuse me. And we sent in a statement. I sent in a statement. I hope you guys did too. Pass, pa, 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 PAX, pa, PAX, PAX asked its members to contribute their statements. In its March 12th newsletter, PAX wrote that the reality of these weapons has now officially been noted. It's officially been noted. Officially, the UN has officially noted that these weapons exist and that citizens are being hit with them. I guess the State Department has pretty much concretely said, citizens are being hit with these weapons. The Senate's going to do that big investigation on the Cuban embassy attack. It will be mentioned like that. It won't just be that will be in there that citizens are also. This is coming out, guys. We gotta push. We gotta push, right? If you're a targeted individual that doesn't like talking about like what your attackers are doing to you and stuff like that, and the gang stalking, and it kind of makes you feel like when you put yourself out, it's like you feel kind of crazy talking about that stuff. There's so many mainstream articles on the Senate investigate, like DePlume sent me another thing that I need to probably put out. It's like the State Department has picked somebody. I forgot the State Department. Let me just pull it up real quick. The State Department names senior official to lead response to mysterious Savannah syndrome attacks. There's like a task force. Let me read on about it. So okay, and it's more. I'm excited about this stuff. Let's get excited. Speak words of healing. Ooh, that first video, man, because I had just woken up. Oh, it was rough. It was rough. I'm glad I didn't put that out. I mean, I guess sometimes I'll make some videos where it's just like just telling y'all what they're doing to me. I guess I need to do that. I can do that. I don't care. My family's not big on complaining. Like my grandma doesn't even take painkillers, and when she's in I mean she's dying, and she's like, give me a Tylenol, right? My dad's like that too. So I feel like after so many years of like talking about what they're doing to, even though it's really vicious and it's like murder, it's like we need to get this stopped. I still feel this feeling of like I'm complaining a lot, even though it's like this is not complaining about the target. It's a weird thing, right? Like this is not when you're talking about like I'm getting hit with microwaves. Like they're doing stuff to my brain where I can't remember things, and I mean it's serious. Like, and it's like I'm just talking to my mom, and my aunt about it yesterday, and I'm like, why isn't this stopped? The UN, like, and I wasn't yelling or anything like that because they're going through so much too, but I was like, why isn't this stopped? I mean, it's like, the Cuban embassy attack. The UN is like investigating it, asking to come into countries to get to see facilities and things like that. Um, and to see if there's any which like there's somebody being tortured in every community in every country, like because of these programs, because of these directed energy weapon programs, and the brain mapping, integrated neuroweapon systems, which integrated neuroweapon systems are in integrated directed energy weapon systems. It's just the difference is with the integrated directed energy weapon system is the whole thing, right? But I differentiate, I say integrated neuroweapon systems because integrated directed energy weapon systems, you could have directed energy that's just hitting the outside of the body, and it's not really a neuroweapon, right? I maybe need to find a better way to differentiate those two, but it's in the same integrated system, right? It's in the same integrated system that I have human operators and AI working on me. It's horrible having human operators. Like I wish that I just had AI. I'm not sure like what percentage just has AI, which percentage does have human operators, or if there is anybody with just AI, because it seems like they have to have somebody monitoring some of it. I don't know. Some of you may disagree with me on that, but I would love it if it was just AI. Like if they didn't prove to me that they're actually there, because that makes it even more creepy and uncomfortable for me. Like if I could just be like, oh, okay, yeah, it's AI, it'd be less uncomfortable. Some of you right now in your heads, I know what you're like. That's a psyop, and they're trying to make them think, but no, I have human operators on there. Okay, I just woke up, guys. Give me a break. Give me a break here. Give me a break here. Hang with me here. Did I tell you all about this? I said it on the last video. I got to talk to y'all about this thing. Did I don't know if I said it on this video. Oh, the memory issues. When I had to do another video. I already talked about stuff. Oh, that's fun. Okay, let's go through this. Let's read this. Okay, in its March 12th newsletter, PAX wrote that the reality of these weapons have now officially been noted. Officially been noted. In the current issue of Forbes magazine, and I got to get this. I don't know if I've done a stream on this, but I gotta get this. In the current issue of Forbes magazine, an article states that the Pentagon has become aware of these weapons because they have been used on Indian soldiers by the Chinese in their recent skirmishes. If there's anybody in the world that thinks that is true, that the Pentagon has become aware of these weapons because some Indian soldiers got hit by the Chinese who were using microwave weapons, if anybody believes that, like you need to, I guess like in Sparta where they just throw people in a pile or something like that. That's horrible. I couldn't think of a good joke. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, the Pentagon has become aware of these weapons because they have been used on Indian soldiers. They have been used on Indian soldiers by the Chinese in their recent skirmishes. The Pentagon is now looking for a sensor that can detect such attacks on U.S. soldiers. Public awareness is growing. Definitely, definitely. So let me read that again because I read it the first time, and so I'm just kind of. The Pentagon is now looking for a sensor that can detect such attacks on U.S. soldiers. And they're that so in Targeted Justice, Midge talked about that like years ago, but getting a little thing to pin on you that can tell how much non-ionizing microwave radiation you're being affected by. I just never got one. I don't know why. I should have, but I think if you go to Targeted Justice, they have the kind that you can get, or you can just like look it up on Amazon. And I think we all need to be wearing those, especially like I'm going to start wearing it for videos, right? Because I'm getting hit on videos, and maybe they'll stop hitting me. The two things that could happen is I wear one of those and they still hit me, and it measures it right, or they stop hitting me on videos and where I can think better and get the information out. They would maybe just not want to give that evidence, right? I'm not sure how my attackers would respond. But I like to do stuff like that. We think about stuff like that, and then keep them on their toes, where they gotta constantly figure out how to handle you, instead of just like not really fighting back, and saying where they're keeping you on your toes, right? And I guess in a sense they keep us on our toes because they're murdering us. But you know what I'm talking about, like kind of fighting back and doing some psyops of your own. Somebody was saying that on text. Um, I think Nadi was texting me about that. She was like, "I like it how you're talking about psyop and your attackers." I do. I laugh at them a lot. Like the guy, like he'll say stuff like, "Good, nobody." Oh, he just said nobody cares. He just said that. They like saying that a lot. What things do they like saying a lot? So it can give you guys an idea of what they're trying to kind of convey psychologically into my brain. Um, Nobody cares. We have to do this. I don't know. I don't want to go off on that too much now, but I kind of maybe I do need to do just a live stream about V2K. You know, I don't know. Makes us That's the thing that makes us look the most. That's doesn't it's the thing that is hardest for normal people to understand, because it's been ingrained that if you have voices to your head that you're schizophrenic, right? Okay, so and it's March 12th. Did I already read that? Oh, this is great. The Congress is now talking about starting a task force to look into possible dangers to U.S. citizens. That's great. That's really great if a task force is produced. But who's gonna head up the task force? Like the CIA or something like that. So they'd be hiding the information of who's really doing it, but they would be creating a narrative. They're like literally getting the people who are like at the head of doing this to us to investigate it in America. So I hope that the UN steps in, because Niels Melzer is like an independent. He like has an independent office in the UN. Like he really is doing this. I know like the UN, blah blah, Agenda 2030. I know all that stuff, but Niels Melzer, he's like an independent. He's an independent agent within that organization who does his job. He does his job. He wants to stop torture around the world. Have you ever seen a man who's so stressed out on that last live stream I showed? That man is stressed out. Like he didn't know like there was all this going on. Um, there's gonna be some fireworks, you know. Okay, so the time is past for people to close their ears and call anyone who speaks of this crime a tinfoil hat kook. The time has come to allow for the possibility that this crime is real. It is. If anyone wants to learn about it, a good place to start is at the PAC's website. And also freedom for targeted individuals, and also targeted justice, and also targeted in America. I'm just naming all of them. Uh, as Dr. Horton still thinks, stop 007. Look up Romola D. Look up Brian Two. Look up Robert Duncan. Look up Dr. James G. Adorno. Okay, guys. So I just wanted to show you all that letter to the editor. Let's see how much. That's 30 minutes. And then kind of okay. So I've showed that information. I'm gonna put the link in the description. Why can't I go up or down? Okay. I'm gonna put the link in the description, guys. And then I haven't made a video in a while. I've just been like trying to help out with my grandma. I wanted to tell you guys this, that her stomach's been hurting, and they've given her like Metamucil and like gone through all these things and specific medications to make her have less liquid, less diarrhea. But it's going back and forth, right? It's going back and forth, and her stomach's always been hurting. Um, and so a couple of days ago, I was like, I'd been talking about probiotics for the whole time. Like I'd been talking about probiotics, but they're like, no, no, we can't give her anything else. But it's gotten so bad that they finally listened to me. My family finally listened to me, and I went to the health food store, and I got the powdered form that we can mix with our protein stuff, and just like a fourth of a teaspoon, right? These cultured lassa What is it? This isn't the one. This is one I got for me. It's the cultured lactobacilli, and there's like thousands of different cultures of stuff, but like the guy there knew so much about it at the health food store that I got one perfect for my grandma. 2 days later, stomach pain, feeling a lot better. So awesome. But I was just thinking that I'm being microwaved when I go over there and try and help. Me and my mom, like at the end of the day, because they had to go paint, and then so I was there with my grandma. I was, Cindy and Coach, kind of like that. We switch out and stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, me and my mom were like working on a puzzle, and I was just getting like felt like a huge stream of energy just hit me in the back, right? But before that, for like 30 minutes before that, the high pitched sound got really bad to where it was like crackling. It almost felt like it was sizzling. It's that sound where it's like, and it was really bad, and it really hurting like the inside of my ears and the inside of my head. Um, and and then right after that, right, that's when the heat that's when it felt like there was an external hit to like my upper spine and stuff like that. And I always notice, well, let me tell you this for okay. So I was overtly targeted in 2011. I'm not sure about before that. I think it was like covert targeting, state of the art, but like hurting my body too, but me just not knowing it, right? But 2011, the overt targeting started. High pitched sound in the head. It felt like almost like pressure and heat on my face, right, and just all around my head, and then pressure in the head. High pitched ringing. Feels like my head's gonna pop, right, for like 2 months, right. When I'm in that apartment, and I think that the guy next to me is doing it. I think he actually did have some ground stuff, or he was just psyoping and like making stuff hit the wall to where I think those things were hitting me. But anyway, so 2 months of that, then I moved to another apartment down the way, right? Thinking I could just get away from that vicinity, and then I start hearing the V2. I start hearing, thinking I could hear my neighbors talking, which was V2K. Then the same like high pitched sound, but feeling like pressure and burning on my face. But through that time in that apartment, until I got to the house that eventually burned down, um, I didn't notice external hits. And I'm wondering if I didn't notice external hits. Because have you guys, please comment on this. Did your external hits start later on? And then Brian too says, Brian too has been saying this for a long time. Like nobody's getting hit with external hits. That's remote neural manipulation doing that. Now, what I can say factually is that uh, you can feel like you're getting external hits from remote neural manipulation. I know that's true, right? But I can't say I'm not saying like real external hits don't exist, right? Because I felt like I was getting hit like in the chest on a plane by over the horizon radar, right? By microwave. So I'm not saying external hits don't exist, but I'm just saying like I kind of question how all that went down, and your brain really controls what your body feels, and they can do some like when I don't listen to Dave Case CD for like 2 or 3 days, they'll heat up like my entire abdomen, right? And they'll heat up my entire back, and it's almost like they're preparing the area, the nervous system, so that they can trigger certain parts on it to feel like external hits, right? And this is not me saying that real external hits don't exist. I'm just saying this is complicated stuff where I would love to get some real documented protocols of the remote neural manipulation, but like black projects, so we're trying to stumble through it and figure it out on our own. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about that. And then I got a probiotic. I got her like a way better probiotic that like I told the guy the situation, and just like a little bottle of like powdered form. Got to keep it refrigerated. These you don't have to keep refrigerated. This is Dr. Ohhira's probiotics, right? Um, I took these when I had Crohn's. Not these exact ones, but I took some probiotics when I had Crohn's, and it really helped that. And just knowing like the gut and the brain, like when you're formed in your mommy's womb, the tissue that forms your brain is the same tissue, the same clump of cells that forms your gut, like your stomach and your intestines and everything like that. So if we can get our gut a lot more healthy, and there's like neuroprobiotics too, but I just tried to get one. Dr. Ohhira's, just a general one. I do feel my mood feels better. Like my mood feels a lot better. I feel a little bit sturdier. My attackers are kind of doing more external stuff. My memory, the memory stuff, they can still get me on, but my mood feels a lot better. I feel a little bit more, like in Rocky Four, where he's like, "Brace yourself, brace yourself." I feel a little bit more like braced, braced, a little bit more sturdy. So I'm going to continue to take these and let y'all know. I'm sure a lot of you guys are already taking probiotics. A little bit of ASMR for you on 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock on is it Tuesday? That's ASMR. Okay, so I'm gonna be trying. I'm gonna be trying the probiotics, and letting y'all know. And then there's a lot of other ideas and defenses and consumer products coming out that can interfere with what our attackers are doing. Hang in there, guys. Hang in there, everybody who's kind of hanging by a thread. I am too sometimes. Like the stuff they've done to my brain. I wish we were at this point like 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, because it's like the longer they like I defend and stuff like that, they got some really sophisticated stuff they're doing to the brain, and it's like like even with Dave Case's CD, my attackers through the years have just steadily every day tried to get through it a little bit more and learn what frequencies they have to use to and they can't get through it all. It still helps, but it doesn't help as much as it did like at the beginning, right? Because of the adaptive quality of what our attackers are doing and the automated systems are doing, right? Because the automated systems are trying to find a frequency that can get through whatever you're trying to do, you know. So that's kind of all I had. It's just bizarre, like because I'm trying to help out my family, and I just feel like that's a problem, like with hospice, and my grandma doesn't want to take painkillers, and we need to be thinking about solutions for end of life caretaking and families being involved in that, and think about this technology could be used to check my grandma out, and they could know, like, you have about this much time left. They could definitely do that with this technology. But instead, they're like massacring me while I'm trying to help my grandma, while I'm trying to do these things. It's insane. It's insane. Like there are just problems that in life where it's like you see the system, like Cuomo, just like, let's get rid of all these old people, right? Let's just put them in a nursing home and they have CV and they can all die. Like there's such disrespect given to our elders, right? And I'm looking at this and I'm like, we need to like make them comfortable at the end of life and respect what they went through in life and how they raised us and everything. Instead, it's like in society, the top of the pyramid, which these microwave idiots and gang stalkers don't understand, they're creating more problems. And there are some things in life that we need to be coming up with solutions for. This is creating more problems. Like using technologies this way, doing these, there's that some problem is creating horrible exponential problems. And the top of the pyramid knows this. They don't care what goes on down. They don't live amongst us. They live like on in villas in undisclosed locations or underground maybe, but they don't live among us, so they don't care like about these people microwave me, wasting their whole life, maybe making money or something like that. Definitely making money, or my life being microwave. They don't care about that. They don't care if there's like bloodshed in the streets. Everybody goes to war. They don't care. They don't live. They don't live amongst that. They see the world as like a petri dish. Like they see the human population as a petri dish, not even guinea pigs. I don't even think they give us the respect of a cow or a guinea pig. They see us as little, amoebas. I guess a guinea pig or cow. But we are not. We are human beings, and God is on our side, and God is big. And man, I'm seeing. Let me just say this, because I want to make it concrete. I don't want to say anything too crazy, but the feeling like I'm seeing what I knew was going to happen, what God put in my heart in 2014. It must have been 2014, and then from then on, it's happening. Like it's happening, and I don't know if it's a mixture of just like me being able to put pieces together. Me and my mom were working on puzzles. I'm very good at puzzles. I can just pick a piece out and like just put it. It's crazy how good I am at puzzles. Even with my brain microwave, my mom's really good at puzzles too. Gotta give her props for her puzzle skills. I forgot what I was talking about, guys. It's so important, so important, but I forgot. Oh man, I do this all the time. I'll have to figure out some kind of thing. I need to. Nadia suggested ginkgo biloba, so I might need to try that. Um, Also, did I tell you this is a dog clipper? And my mom got it for me. And you turn the light on, right? And you cut. Pepper needs her claws cut because it's like she walks around these hard floors. It's like really torture for her. And but I put the light on, and then I like tried to cut it. Is that even moving anymore? And I tried to cut it from the side, and this whole thing just snapped. It just snapped. It's like it's not even fixable. It's just yeah, it's complete. Oh wow. Well now it's in two pieces. Um, but I just wanted to show you all that. I think I need to come from the front. Like I need to cut her nails from the front. I don't know if I already mentioned that in this video. I mentioned it in the other video. I'm kind of like confused on what I mentioned in the video that I deleted. Um, And update on movie night. Just once again, I want to apologize for that. The CD drive making that noise. I think Serendipity Blooming was like, "Hey, that's a pretty loud noise on there," and she was really polite about it. So I was like, "Oh, well, it must just be like a little bit of a whirring sound," but it's not. But it was like terrible. Um, you guys like just say, look, that's way too loud or something like that. I know it's hard because people want to be polite, but that was bad. So we're gonna do movies off the internet or something like that, or maybe I'll rent some or something like that. But I wonder if I can we can show Netflix movies, right? But Willow was the only one that I could find that was free to watch. So we might be just watching Willow. And I need to do some more videos with information, but we'll do a movie night, soon. Maybe this weekend. Maybe we'll do a live stream, serious live stream. I don't know. I got to put myself together. But we'll be doing more stuff, and I think what happened is like on my D Live, they say that my videos can only stay there 3 days. I think that's a direct result of me showing Rocky 4, showing copyrighted material. So like now all of my live streams on D Live will only stay there for three. I think unless that happened to the whole platform, I think it was a copyright issue. Because that's what I'm showing. I'm showing movies, so they're like, well, all of your videos are going to go away in 3 days. Um, I'm not sure about that, but we're gonna eventually be moving to Twitch to do some other stuff. Um, but we'll do movies on D Live for now, and then I'll maybe archive them, maybe throw them over on BitChute. Throw them on BitChute and movie watch parties. I don't know. Maybe we'll just watch them and then just I'll archive them, put them somewhere. I'll figure out somewhere to put them. But I think we're gonna maybe watch Willow soon. Um, and then I was gonna say the Spark. We need to watch. I was talking about that in the last video, the video I deleted. Um, Steven Schellenberg made an independent film called The Spark. I was just thinking that's a great title. Because that's really what the evil people in the world, and Satan with the top of the pyramid, right? Satan working through the top of the pyramid. They want to get rid of our spark, that connects to God. Um, so that's a really good title for a movie. We'll definitely be watching that on movie night, and I'll just purchase it from his website or whatever because I want to help him out. I hope he's doing okay. I think maybe Ramola has talked to him recently. I gotta catch some more Ramola's interviews, and I can't keep up sometimes. I really appreciate you guys that send me information. That really helps me out. I'm putting myself together. We're gonna push through this, but it's rough. It's just my with my brain. It's real rough right now, and like with my family stuff I'm going through, it's real rough right now. And I know you guys understand. Y'all are going through rough stuff. We'll do as much as we can, but I think at this point, the deal is it's like if you're a target individual, you can just become a reporter. You could become a YouTuber talking about transhumanism and all these other issues, and not really have to say like I'm a target individual and I'm being hit by microwaves. You just make a channel about these subjects, right? Because they're out there. They're out in the mainstream media now. So I think that's a huge thing. These are huge things going on. When I'm talking to my mom, my aunt, it used to be I don't know if I said this on this video. It's like, oh man, I hate that. I'm never gonna do that again. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna leave it. But like it used to be like my aunt would have my mom's ear about kind of like Kyle's taking advantage. And I love my aunt. I love my aunt, but she was trying to take care of my mom, and she didn't understand what was going on with me. So she was a little bit angry, and I didn't like I don't it didn't seem mentally ill, so maybe a lot of my family maybe thought I was on drugs or something. Um, but now it's like I'm sitting there with my mom, my aunt, and we're talking about Niels Melzer in the last UN assembly, and him saying that countries are not cooperating on letting the UN come in. This is you can talk to people about this stuff now. It's incredible. And now, so me and my mom have my aunt's ear. Things have turned around that way, right? And I want to talk just quickly about like any of your families who they've been maybe like my family didn't really mistreat me. They helped me, but they thought I was mentally ill, and they're like, you just need like it was just this unease and misunderstanding, right? And that created some kind of friction, and us not having that kind of family life that we wanted, and me not having the connection to my father, my brother, my mom. My mom, she's different. Um, but now I do, right? My, now I do. I'm really a mama's boy. I think my mom is incredible. She's incredible, man. She's taught me so many. This is my mom. Like that's why I'm here doing these videos. Because and my dad too. My dad like has taught me a lot of stuff too about like business, about like just having faith and stuff like that. So I never like, but like I'm kind of a mama's boy. I think my dad would even admit that. I love them both. I hate doing that. I hate doing that because that's like a parent going, what's your favorite kid? Like my dad has taught me things that are integral, right? And my mom has taught me things and given me things like just genetically that are integral to doing this. Um, but like since I was a kid, I watched her do stuff, watched my dad do stuff too. But like especially like in Texas, like she's helping me with that house and just watch her do stuff and just amazing. Just never stops. Like, and she's in pain, man. Like her foot, like her left side is dragging, and she just never talks about it. Like I know she's targeted. I know they're trying to. This is the funny thing about my mom, and it's the funny thing about me. Kind of what I got from my mom. Like we're anxious. We're type A personalities. If you put us in a corner, uh, I think she's a type A personality all the time. My mom's a type, but she's not like mean or anything. She's just a type A personality. I'm kind of like my dad when things are going good, and then I don't know. Yeah, I'm like my dad when things are going good, and then I get really type A, like in this situation, targeting, put me in a corner, right? And so like me and my mom deal with a lot of like anxiety, stuff like that. And I think that they try and put negative thoughts in my mom's head about me. Like I think they do target her like that, but I think she ignores pretty much every thought she has because she has like anxiety and stuff like that. And my mom's more about actions, so if she has negative thoughts or anything, she just completely ignores them. That's the way she is. And then she just kind of goes through. Um, and I think that's really cool. You start seeing like this is very evil and this is awful what's happening to us, but you're going to see incredibly good things from good people as more people understand what's happening to society, right? We've already seen it, right? And we need to look at that. We need to join in on that because there's so many human beings around the world that don't like tyranny. They don't want the new world coming in and killing their kids and stuff. They don't want 24-hour a day torture, and it's all coming out that those things are happening, right? It's a very interesting time to be in, right? It's a very interesting time to be in. Even though, so we need to get more comfortable and more strong, and we're kind of, like I felt it since. Did I say that in this? Okay, memory stuff is really bad right now, guys. But I just, 2014, whatever. Had this feeling that it's gonna roll out. It's gonna take time. Really thought it would end sooner, right? Because I thought the system was different. I didn't think the system was as corrupt as it was, like when I first started getting hit. But it's gonna happen. I mean, this stuff is coming out, and it's hard to explain. I wish I could get my mind in my body, and maybe in that's already going on, right? But this spiritual feeling that God gave me that like I wasn't gonna die being tortured. And it's like that's one of the things that I felt along the way. Like it's a small YouTube channel. I help people though, right? And it's like getting as many people through this as we can because it's coming out, right? So let's do that, guys. I love y'all. Let's end it with a prayer. I'm gonna probably start with a prayer um, more occasionally. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus Christ, dear Lord, please just strengthen every person fighting tyranny, especially those that are getting attacked by remote microwaves, um, getting remote neural manipulation or microwave hits to the body, just severe torture to the nervous system. Please just give them strength and solutions and things that are just miraculous that we didn't even think of. Please help this information to come out, people to get the right narrative on who's doing it, the real truth of who's doing it, so that it won't be a danger in the future. Just strengthen every target. Just strengthen them, Lord. These are miracles. This is such a miracle that these things are coming out. Help us to see it in the right perspective. It's so hard sometimes because we're still being tortured. Please end this torture and just let us see through your eyes about what's happening in our lives. Give us strength and healing. 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 And thank you for our lives. We are grateful. We are grateful for our precious lives. And amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, in the name of Jesus Christ. All right, guys, I'll go ahead and end it. That was about an hour video. So I said we're gonna do movie night soon, but I want to get some more serious information out first. Like maybe a live stream of just like a bunch of information um, coming out. We'll do something. I'm just kind of trying to pull myself together and balance it all out. It's very hard with the targeting, and some days I'm playing Assassin's Creed Origins. It's like in ancient Egypt and stuff like that, and it's just you run around. It's like a huge map of like Egypt that you can run around, and I feel like I'm kind of moving. Sometimes I gotta escape, from this. V2K on me. Yeah, I was cracking up. Yeah, like they were doing the not cracking up like laughing. I was like because they were doing like the because I went over to my grandma's. I had a good day. I felt like oh my god. Like and I've been going over to my grandma's a lot, but it was just the probiotics were working. It was and my mom and my aunt were thankful for that, and they were thankful that that day they needed to paint and whatever, and she saved money because I was just able, to come over and stuff like that. But been going. It was a good day out of all the days that I've gone, to hang out with my grandma. It was a really good day. So they got pissed off, and they were doing the vagus nerve stimulation, which makes me feel flight or fight, right? It's like it's hard to describe, but targeted individuals understand this, where it's like your brain's kind of going, and you can't calm down. You can't calm down. You think you got to do something, and then they turned up the V2K along with that, right? And external hits. Well, what felt like external hits to my back, my spine, and it was just like I can't take this, I can't take this, I can't take this, right? I forgot the point to that, But that's what makes them really mad, right? You do good things in your life. You help your family. You mend bridges. Don't burn bridges. You know what I'm saying? Victory in your life. Faith that it can be done. Laughing at their evil. These are all things that they do not like. Um, and I'm trying, guys. Like, it just sometimes, this is hills and valleys of the targeting. But we're definitely going to be doing more stuff. I can do this. And I appreciate you guys saying, like, I get texts and stuff that, um, and emails saying, like, thank you for just speaking about this, just so directly. I feel that's a hard thing for people. For me, not so much, right? So I have weaknesses, I have strengths. You guys have strengths and weaknesses. It's like, I wouldn't even call that a weakness. It's just like, I understand. Like, I understand. Like I've never, anything that I've talked about in my life, I have never sounded crazy. Like, I'm not trying to brag, but I just, hey, look, this is going on. But like this targeting stuff and what they've done to my brain, and then just the topic in general, every video I make, I sound like a lunatic, and I'm talking about real stuff, trying to figure out real stuff, right? Amazing. It's amazing how the smartest people, well, not smart, like people who can really communicate well, right? And I used to be before the targeting. I'm kind of coming. I'm coming back, right? With God's power, with healing and stuff like that. That infection, boy, I mean, that felt like it took away like my communication. I couldn't communicate what I wanted to all the time. I don't want to get into all that, but it was really bad. I mean, they went really far. They go really far with all of us with this targeting, and it's massively evil, and it doesn't stop, and your body doesn't have any time of just like, oh, I'm living in my body and I'm free of people raping my mind, and like I'm not in pain. You don't have like a moment of that. It's like you have to find comfort while you're being attacked, and you have a like people in your head. Like you have a group like people shooting crap into your head. Like they do. Like I'll be thinking of something and they'll put like some gross thing at the end of the thought, or they'll put in a whole thought with a feeling into my head. It's my brain, you know. And that's the age that we're going to is where your brain's not really your brain anymore. You're just a connected. You're a node. Like you're like a robot that's connected into a node, and you won't have autonomy. Like the New World Order doesn't want countries to have autonomy. It doesn't want communities to have autonomy. It doesn't want people to have autonomy. Like they don't want individual people just having their own thoughts and stuff like that. They want everything full spectrum dominance. That means even the brain of every human being. Okay, guys. So I love y'all, and I'll be doing something soon. I'm just kind of trying to pull myself together, do as much for my family, and get my mind together and meditate and really get with God. That's the most important thing to me. And I'll tell anybody this: the faith comes first for me. I am nothing without my faith. I'm nothing. Like if I didn't without that, and that's what like my dad really helps me. That not like my mom's not a spiritual person, but that's what my dad has given me an unshakable faith, and I appreciate that. My computer's running kind of hot. That's okay. Okay, guys, I think that's about all. I just kind of wanted to show you all this. Wow, my computer's running really hot. Okay, let me check that out. I'm gonna need to get it. I'm gonna need to get a new computer soon. This one sucks. Okay, I love you guys. And I'll see you all in the next one. We'll be doing stuff. I'm gonna pull myself together. We're so close. We're so close to a lot of changes, and this is I mean, we've had a lot of victories and stuff, but this is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been waiting for. And it's going to be a little bit of a journey. It's going to be an unraveling. It's going to be a process. These programs are so huge. And at the beginning, there's going to be lies, and these people that are doing it are going to be the ones investigating it. But it's going to roll a conversation right about it. Um, boy, the world is so. Oh man. All right, guys. I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. God protect and strengthen you, and give you miracles in your life. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one.